Hey, you all, this is Maysha with Akasa Living, and boy, does that sound a little weird to say. But I am very excited to say it and very excited to have y'all are my first live guests. Um, I know Gabrielle and I did Twin Flame Tuesday, but we recorded it. And Scott and I have done some recording, which he didn't even know we were doing. Well, he knew we were recording, but he didn't know it was going to be a show. So welcome Reverend Pam and Reverend Ellen to live A Case of Living. It is very exciting to have you all. And I'm just going to say, y'all are the very reverends. I'm just going to say that. And y'all are doing something really, really cool with human design. Both of you coach people, you have various modalities, including Reiki. And if we went on and on about y'all's pedigrees, that's all we would do here. And so I'm just going to say y'all are like, gurus of all. And we're just going to leave it at that. And what I do want to say about human design is, up front, I want to say that human design is where I stumbled onto the fact that energy management was my health issue with fibromyalgia. And so while I did not delve deeply into human design, because there is a lot to human design, I have such respect for human design. So when Pam said, can we talk about human design? I said, are you kidding me? So ladies, tell the world what it is y'all are going to be doing with human design. And I'm turning it over now, and y'all just talk human design, and let's listen, folks.
Okay.
So manifestors that we are.
Yes.
Within the human design. That's funny. So you were talking, I want to address that. But first, I do want to say thank you for having us on to chat about human design, because it's something that we both have stumbled across fairly recently. But it really took hold for us because, like you said, it was all about our energy management. And we all three work in that realm.
Yep.
In our unique ways and with our unique gifts and modalities. And for me, it caught me in the beginning of a very challenging adrenal fatigue issue. So as I went through that, I kept reflecting on my human design reading and what could I bring from that to help bring me out of what I was in the middle of. So thank you for kind of sharing that part too. Yeah. And I think probably the best thing, Miss Ellen is more, I'm going to say, the technical part of this. So she has like definitions and those kinds of things down. And, I just go with the flow. Not that she doesn't, but
yeah.
Anyway, so I'm going to turn it over to her, let her kind of talk about the definition, and then we'll talk about some specific.
So what is human design? There might be people out there who don't even know what that is. It's basically a new science, new to us anyway. It's been around for a little while. But it is taking ancient wisdom, the I Ching, the Kabbalah, the astrology, and the chakra system, marrying it with modern science, which is quantum physics, to create a personal energy roadmap so that we can make positive change. And when we live in our design, we make positive change in our lives. And one of the things that really attracted me to this work was his focus on the energy side of it, of course. And everyone seems to be familiar now with the 7 major chakra system. Well, human design, the founder's name is Ra, and he said, we're evolving as human beings. We're now expanding that 7 chakra system and creating 2 additional ones. So we are now a 9 energy center system. And of course, that energy is then reflected in our auric field, and that's how we communicate with each other. At first, right? Non-verbally, people experience our energy, our auric field, before they ever hear a word from us. And so I loved his perspective. And again, Pam and I have been working on this, and one day she said, "Hey, Al, I'm working on some charts, and I'm pulling my aunt or my grandmother. I forget now." And
I was pulling together my mom and my mom and dad, my immediate family, and then my grandma and grandpa's, and then I have a niece who was estranged to us until just a few years ago for like about 35 years, estranged for about 35 years. And then of course I have my bonus daughter, which, was a whole different dynamic back when I met them when she was 2. So I had been pulling those charts and looking at those and who they were energetically and how we might have done things different. And that's what I mentioned to Ellen, and she said,
and I went, "Oh my God, you're working on a family tree. That's what I've been working on." So that's where we got into it's self-development. Yes, you want to learn about yourself, but oh my gosh. And I was pulling charts on my 2 nieces, their husbands, and their children, because I said, wouldn't it be phenomenal to not only learn more about yourself, but then look at your spouse or significant other or business partner or friend. How do you work? What's the dynamic between the 2 of you, and how well do you work together? And then it kind of went on to, and what about when you have kids? Because of course I'm looking at my nieces and their husbands. And how do you as parents work together as a team to raise these children who have a totally different energy blueprint from you? And my nieces all have children under 5. And so that was where I was going with it. I want to be able to share with them to help them with raising their kids and communicating with their kids in a different dynamic. So that's where I was.
Okay. So we know that energetically, what we put out is what we attract. And so how we want to be treated, we treat ourselves first. And then if we get locked just in that loop, well, then that's a very small loop and we get very lonely there. And me crashes in on us really quickly. So we have to put that energy out into the world.
Yes.
Those are relationships, because guess what? We are always in relationship, even when we lock ourselves in our little me. So, yeah. But the problem is, I just, you know how I am, Pam. I just kind of say it the way it is. And so
it makes sense, right?
I know. And so, but the thing is, sometimes people aren't really comfortable going with the intuitive way of doing that. It's like, I hear what you're saying. I'm even feeling it. I know what you're saying is right. I'm there. I'm ready to turn loose of the programming. I'm ready to stop doing what society says. But I still would like some sort of guidance. Okay, so I'm not going to go by what society said, and I'm letting go of my past traumas and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But y'all say that this is a marriage of science and the metaphysical or the energy.
Right.
So show me the money. Well, where's the beef? Whichever metaphor y'all want to use here. Well, that's what y'all are doing, which is what people with human design are doing, only y'all are actually calling it that. You're saying, okay, your closest relationships or whichever relationship you want to look at, let's just pull it up, call a spade and say, okay, that's the person I'm dealing with. I want to take a look at how they tick, and I want a blueprint or a way that, okay, I've let go of how society tells me to do it, but this is the science and the energy of it, not me guessing, because so many people still feel that intuition is guessing.
Yes.
This is the science of how to do it, which will lead people to trusting their intuition, because they are going to start feeling their way through this. It's a beautiful plan, ladies. I love it.
Well, let's talk a little bit. You were talking about people not trusting intuition, when really that's the thing we ought to be trusting in, because that never lies.
Absolutely it is. But people aren't there yet. Well, many are. But for those who are like a little shaky with it, this is like, okay, we can print this off for you. We can talk and we can show you the science of it. Exactly. Especially those who are still very science-based or very much need to see it if I don't see it, I don't believe it. Those people, and we all know those. And so, and the truth of the matter is, those people tend to be very intuitive too. And the truth is, they're going by their intuition. They're just not calling it intuition.
Exactly.
True.
So we don't have to tell them that. We don't have to convince them of that. We don't have to do any of it. Just put the information out there and say, hey, there is a way that is both scientific, energetic, all of that stuff.
Yep.
And it gets you out of societal programming. It gets you out of the old paradigm. It puts you firmly in a way that will actually work better.
Mm-hmm.
How about giving it a try? And people will do it.
Yes.
People will give that a try. Whereas if we just say, okay, y'all, come out of the old paradigm and into the new, we're going to use our intuition. People are like, we're going to do what? What? Am I into what? You're taking me into what? No, I'm not going there. But this is something that they can hold in their hot little hands. And we all like what we can hold in our hot little hands. And so that's why tarot reading, which you both do, that's why oracle cards. It's not that we as intuitives actually need, because we're intuitive readers. We don't actually need the cards, but the cards are something we can show them. Look, this is what and they're like, oh, I see it. I get it. So that's kind of, while there is science to it, and therefore it's bringing even more to it.
Right.
It's the same concept, right? Is that what I'm hearing?
Oh, sure.
Okay,
And
great. Okay.
Let's talk a little bit about that physical thing that you're speaking of that people can actually have. But first, what that is called within human dynamics is a body graph. So we input birth information. So we retrieve that, input that information into the programming, and it gives us a body graph. And within that body graph, we see those 9 chakras, and depending on that all those ancient wisdoms, as well as the new science pulled together, gives us the 4 different types of energy that human design is based on: manifestors, generators, projectors, or reflectors. Okay, so each of those have a specific strategy that we live by, and also what we call a non-self theme, which means whatever you're experiencing when you're outside your strategy. So when you experience that, for instance, mine is anger. Now, I don't consider myself an angry person, but I have walked around the house many times
angry,
blurting out things in an angry manner. So
I had a little cosmic toddler temper tantrum yesterday. Scott got to listen to it. And when I was done, I said, thank you very much. He said, oh, is that all? And I'm like, I thought it was pretty bad personally. And he's like, is that all? He said, with all you got, I thought there was more. And I'm like, no, that's all. But yeah, those of us who try to, who do hold the high vibration, every once in a while we do have to cut loose and just say,
But I knew then that I was walking outside of my authentic energy strategy. So now what do? Right? And I relook at what's going on and readjust and move back into the strategy of my life, which is to inform. Okay? For me, for a manifester. And Ellen and I are both manifestors, but we still have different energy parts. I actually run from my feelings. And so if I feel it, I can speak about it. And Ellen runs from spleen.
No, heart center will. The heart will center is where mine, and mine is just a gut knowing. I just know stuff. And and my strategy is to inform, because as Pam says, if we're outside of our strategy, so we're both manifestors, we might come up with an idea and maybe I'm working on it, but someone keeps bothering me and interrupting me, right? And it's because I haven't informed them of what it is I'm doing, why I'm doing it. I'm just going with it, right?
Would you just leave me alone and let me do it?
Just leave me alone, let me work. And but the strategy is to inform people, and when you do that, it lets that pressure, that energy pressure go, and there's no resistance. But if I don't tell them what I'm up to and what I'm doing and why I'm doing it, then there's a lot of resistance to what I'm doing.
And
I think
resistance meaning that you're also putting out energy that is non-resonant with the other energies around you, and so things aren't flowing really well between you and the other people. So, but would you ladies mind, because most people do know the 7 chakras, what are the other 2 chakras that you're talking about? Could you identify those? I need to back up a little. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I ask a bad question?
No.
No. But really, within the 7, 2 of them are kind of broken off. Like we typically see the heart. Okay, so we typically see head, third eye, throat, heart, solar plexus, sacral, root, right? Okay, so those are pretty head and third eye, or they call it ajna. Throat, and the heart is not actually called heart. It's called
The will.
G center. Will? Isn't the will the triangle off? Okay, what's the triangle?
The triangle, that's the will / heart center.
Okay, so then the G center is where, what I was saying is the G center is typically where the heart, where we would think of as the heart. Okay, and then the will actually is off to the right. The solar plexus is down below that. And then, I'm sorry. Yeah, the solar plexus is down there. Then you go to the sacral.
It's
sacral. Spleen is on the other side.
Right. That's the extra.
Kind of hard to describe when you don't have a picture going.
I gotcha.
And then root.
Okay. All right.
So really you've got will, G center, and spleen that are kind of the different, well,
Gotcha.
yeah.
Gotcha.
It's the G center and the spleen that are the 2 extras. It's just that the heart will has kind of moved to the side instead of down that straight line and replaced with the G.
And so has solar plexus.
Exactly.
I understand. Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Well, I just knew that so many are familiar with the 7. I knew people were going to be like, well, so what are these other 2? And so thank you all for saying that. Yeah. So what are y'all going to do with this? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Pam.
Oh, I was just going to say, and for those of us who work with chakras, we also know that we've got all these up here and all those down there, right?
Right. Those are the ones that are not necessarily within the body. So yes, we could talk forever about chakras if that's what we wanted to do. And so,
yeah, and we did that one time.
Yeah, and we still need to keep talking about chakras.
Yeah,
chakras are a whole thing to themselves. But so, ladies, what are you all going to do with this? Because I know we're not talking about this just to be talking about it, although I would do that too. What are y'all going to do with this?
So immediately, well, because Miss Ellen kind of identified we both kind of manifested together, but didn't understand that. Although when we look at our graphs, we're matched perfectly. So
we complement each other really well.
Complement each other perfectly. Yes. So it's probably why we manifest so well together, I guess. Anyway, when we started that, and we were working kind of through it, and Ellen was going, okay, so I'm going to Wisconsin to a women's convention, and then I'm going to be down to Kansas City for a ministry convention. And I went, you're coming to Kansas City? It's like 4 hours from me. Let me know when, and I'll come up and meet you. And she goes, I'll just come by and visit you on my way home. And I went, okay. And I said, I don't know what we'll do while you're here. Oh, wait, the Spirit Fair is that weekend. We'll go to the Spirit Fair. So then we got to talking, and I said, oh, do you want to take human design to the Spirit Fair? And she goes,
Pam's really good at getting you into things like that. Pam's really good at saying, why don't we? And then the next thing you know, you're like up all night in a witch's hat, as you know.
That's true. She's
Yeah,
another
That's
mystery.
Pam. Yeah, go ahead, Pam. I'm sorry.
Oh, so anyway, I said, okay, well, let me check with the gal that puts it on, and I'll let you know. So I did, and she said, she came back and she goes, I have one table left. Now this is a month from when it's happening, because it's happening June 18, 19 at in Broken Arrow at the, I can never remember the name of the convention center. It's over by Bass Pro. So if you're in the Tulsa area, come to that convention center by Bass Pro, Stony Creek Convention Center. And we're going to be there Saturday and Sunday as it ends up. I was trying to be mindful of Ellen's, touring around the country and getting here on Friday and then having to be doing human design on Saturday and Sunday. But she was, well, yeah, let's do it.
So first she invites me and says, let's go to the spirit fair. Then she finds out
she
there's
puts you to
one
work.
table. And she says, okay, let's do one day at the fair. And then I've really been thinking about, I think we should do both days. And then the woman says, do you want to do a lecture? And not just readings, but do a lecture. And we're like, oh, okay. So put two manifestors together. This is what we do. And
hey, I'm just waiting for it to end up on Facebook all night. That's what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for witches' hats and Facebook all night. That's what I'm waiting for, ladies.
We can do human design readings. Yeah. That's what we're doing at the fair. Actually, we're putting together a basic reading. Of course, we've only got 20 minutes, so it's not going to be a full reading by any means, but it will be enough to get people kind of on their path, if you will, I think. And so anyway, that's what we're working towards for the fair.
But what I want to do is I want to check in with you all periodically live for real and let people know what y'all are doing. So you all can, just when you're not busy, ping me. Let's pop in, go on live, and let's check in on Reverend Pam and Reverend Ellen and see what Pam. This is another fine mess you've gotten us into, Pam. I want to know what's going on. Inquiring minds want to know. Okay, it is your job. But no, seriously, I want to share with everyone else what you all are up to. Seriously, because I know it's going to be a great, not one day, but 2 days, yes. Reverend Ellen. I know it's going to be a great 2 days, and I know people are going to enjoy getting glimpses of it. And so, if y'all are really busy, then you're just really busy, and we won't get to. But if there's some lulls here and there, y'all ping me. We'll just go on live impromptu and just give people a glimpse of what's going on at the Tulsa Spirit Fair, and because that is living in great big capital letters. That's letting people see what's going on for people who can't really be there, and they can see how this is playing out and how people really are embracing it, and they can see you all in action and not just here talking about it and us coming back and saying this is what we did, but we can get some glimpses of it too. So, and maybe some people that you talk to, maybe they can come on camera and tell us what they thought about it and that kind of thing, perhaps. So yeah, I want to keep up with you all that weekend. So yeah.
So June 18, 19, it's a Saturday, Sunday, 11 to 6, I think it is, both days.
Yes.
And I want to share one little tidbit that just happened yesterday. I have, since we've kind of started this adventure, I had started mentioning it to my clients, of course, and it's going to eventually work into an entire modality that I'm working on. But anyway, I had mentioned it to this one client, and it was like the next day or the next couple of days, I did like a short reading for her. And then the next couple of days, she saw something on a TV show and had a person there talking about human design in much more detail. So she called me up and she goes, can I do that full reading with you? And I went, sure. So that's how powerful it can be. That's how significant just a little tidbit of it is.
Yes, because it is people, I kind of talked about it tongue in cheek earlier, or kind of lighthearted, because that is my way. I bring it to people in a lighthearted way. But the seriousness of it is people are coming away from the old paradigm, and they're looking for ways that they can hold in their hand, or that they can see, or that there's some science with, because even though we see the science of it, when you start talking about, well, there's this and there's that, and there's quantum physics with it, although I talk about quantum physics all the time and have been now for a good while, long before I even understood why I was talking about quantum physics, I was saying, and I keep reading all this quantum physics stuff, and I know I met someone and out of the blue I said, and I believe everything's energy. And I'm like, why am I saying that? Because I didn't even know why I was saying it, but I knew it was important, And so that is where we're at. And so it is important, and it is out there. So the more we can show people that, yes, there is this marriage of energy and understanding of the metaphysical and the sciences, the more we can show them it's not either or, but both and. The more we can the more we can do that, the more we can show that, but also do it in a way that people can be comfortable with, not in, and we're all going to resonate with different people,
Sure.
But absolutely. But that is what people are looking for. So we're like 26 minutes into it. So how would you all like to wrap up? Because I know we want to keep it short, and I know, Pam, you've got clients and stuff. So how do we want to do this, ladies?
Well, I would say just come join us at the fair if that's possible, and if not, and you would like to have a mini reading or a full reading, let us know. We'd be happy to do that. We can do it via Zoom. I know that when I'm working with my clients and I'm doing their individual chart, almost every time they'll go, wow, I wish I knew what my brother was or my sister was, because I really would like to figure that relationship out. Okay. So we're here if that's something you have an interest in.
Yes. It always helps. Anything that we can get that will help us interact with more resonance, with our energies, and more synchronicity with one another. And of course, we do that by being ourselves, not by, because I used behavioral styles for fixing nursing facilities. And I've come to learn that we were doing it all backwards, because we were jerking our behavioral styles around to fit whether we were at home or at work or at church or whatever. And that's not the way it is. We discover our behavioral style, and then we be that person, and we tailor all of our roles, or make sure the roles we're in are right for that behavioral style. So that's what y'all are doing here, is you're saying, okay, this is who you are, and this is who they are. You're not going to change who they are, and they're not going to fit a role. No. But you figure out how you work together being who you are. And that's what y'all are doing. And I love it, love it, love it. Pam?
Oh, I was just going to say, or ask, do you have a way to put our information in, or just people can contact you and you know how to get a hold of us?
We'll put it in the comment section, because that way keeps us on certain platforms from being considered spamming. So if we put it in the comment section, it goes better, and we will have it in the comment section for sure.
Look for that if you need. If you're in Oklahoma, Tulsa area, that's where I am. If you're in Tennessee, in Unicoi or
Northeast Tennessee,
that's where Miss Ellen typically is, but for about 3 weeks she's going to be traveling the country. She's going to be in Tulsa.
Yeah,
I tell you what, when you said
Jinx, which is where I am, but
when you said she's coming to Kansas City, I wanted to break out in song. You might take a train. You might. It's me. It's what I do. So I know it's what I do. So all right, ladies, thank you all so much. I do want to say, of course, Pam, you are one of our Akasa Living Ascended Masters. I want to let everyone know that Pam is a part of the network here and the platform. And so
grateful to be so. Thank you.
Oh, absolutely. And Reverend Ellen, of course, you have a spot anytime you want to be on. You just ping me, girl, and we will find get hold of Pam. We will find a place, absolutely. And your guided imageries and all you do, I have such respect for. And so thank you for the work you do and all those you help, because it does take all of us and our energies that we're putting out to resonate with all the different energies out there. So, and that's what we're all about here, is each using our voice to help raise conscious awareness and to raise the vibrational frequency for all. And so thank you all for the work you're doing. You all please support these ladies. I will have their contact information and how you can work with them individually. Pam has her own page. It's getting ready to have a bunch more stuff added to it. And Reverend Ellen, I'd be happy to add your information over there too, full time if you would like. I will keep your information up. And it's just been a pleasure to start my Thursday morning with you two ladies. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate
I'm going to
you.
put a little plug. Pretty soon I'm going to have a new website, and it's all around pretty much energy. I mean, it'll have my modalities on it, but it'll be geared more towards the energy work. So I'll...
I've already got like your information up already. You have a great big heading already at your page, but we will just keep adding and adding and adding to it as that unfolds. So, all right. Thank you all. We've had 2, 3, 4 people with us live the whole time here. So thank you all
Hi,
for joining us live. Yes, thank you all. And you all, whatever show I'm on, you know how I feel about it. Always, always, always live in great big capital letters. Be you, authentically you.
Amen.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay.